Alright guys, today we're going to talk a bit about the Galaxy A56 5G that I've been using for the better part of a week. Now today's video is not going to be something that I'm going to go over the specifications. I'll put in a link from GSM Arena if you want to go and check out all that detail. But today's video is going to be more of a user experience, what I think about the device, and ultimately whether you should buy it or not. So let's begin the video right away. Now, first things first, it's worth mentioning that, this is actually a pretty good phone. I don't hate a lot of things about it. In fact, I kind of like a lot of things about it. And there's probably only like one or two things that I didn't really enjoy. So perhaps maybe we can start off with the things that I like. Now, first up, just in terms of the design and the build, personally, I think that the Galaxy A56 is one of the best mid-range phones that Samsung has made, to the point where the quality is concerned because it's just so well built. Now, if you just take a look at the frame itself, this time around they're going for this sort of like brushed aluminum kind of look, and it really does look the part. So it actually feels like I'm actually holding a more expensive device. Otherwise, we do have a very clean design. I also like the fact that we do have this new sort of like camera cut out at the back. I know some of you are, it's kind of debatable. Some of you think it looks like some other phones, but ultimately, I think it looks great, feels good, and I'm happy with it. Alright, now moving on to another thing that I really like here, and that's actually in terms of the display. Now the display itself, again, some of you might like it, some of you might not really like it. For me, I like the fact that the colors are very punchy. It's a great display panel from Samsung. We also have that 120 Hz just like you would expect on anything. It's a great display. I wouldn't say that it's super awesome, but it's good enough for your day-to-day browsing of social media, watching movies and all that. Now I know there's a very tiny thing that some of you might not be happy with, and that's because there's sort of a chin at the bottom. And yeah, it's not really symmetrical. For instance, the side bezels are one size, the head itself is another size, and the chin itself is a different size. So we have three different sizes of bezels going all around, and I know if you are really into symmetry, this is not something that you're going to be pleased at. For me, I do complain about it at the very start, but after using it for a bit now, it's not something that I really care about. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Now moving on to another thing that I liked here, and that's actually the improved charging speed. It's a 45 watt, by the way. It's not like super fast like your Redmi's, your Realme's and all that, but it's good to see that Samsung is picking up their game and giving us a faster charging. So the battery itself is great, by the way, but the charging makes it even better because it's just so much quicker than before. However, unfortunately, it still doesn't come with a charger in the box, so you got to go and source your own one. Personally, I'm using something from Charge, the brand Charge. This is not like a promotion or whatever, but they do have some pretty good chargers. You can go and check out some more affordable ones from Ugreen as well. They also make some pretty nice chargers, and once you get that, you can basically charge the device up quite quickly. Now, the last thing that I like about this device here is actually in terms of the performance. Now, funny, a lot of you are haters of the Exynos chipset. Personally, I'm not a hater or supporter of any specific brand or chipset, but in real world use, it's actually quite powerful. It's more powerful than you might think. So comparing it with a Snapdragon 7S Gen 3, if I'm not mistaken, 7 Gen 3 or something, 7S Gen 3, it's actually even higher performing, not just in terms of the benchmark scores, but when I actually played games on here. My favorite game is Mobile Legends. I'm not playing Genshin Impact now already, I've quit that. But playing Mobile Legends on here, highest graphic levels, fastest refresh rate, you can actually get a very good experience on this chipset. Now furthermore, because it's also quite efficient, you don't burn a lot of battery while doing so, and I'm actually very happy with the performance that you can get here. So if you are someone who does a lot of multitasking, and you are also someone who occasionally plays a little bit of light to medium level kind of graphic games, this is actually a great device. However, if you are going for those really like Genshin and Honkai and all that, this might not be for you. Now, let's move on to the part where I did not like. First up, I would say that the major thing that I did not like about this phone is actually in terms of the cameras. So this is actually a pretty good phone, but the cameras I would say is, to me, is below average. So what I'm saying by here is that, the colors look very normal. The brightness levels, the shadows, everything is, I would say, a bit below average for the price that Samsung is asking for. For 2,000 ringgit or more or less about there, you can actually get a lot of phones that really outperforms the A56 when it comes to the camera. And this, in my opinion, personally, is its weakest spot. Now, even when you come to the zooming, there's no telephoto lens here, obviously. But if you do like your 2 times, your 4 times, you already start to see noise being introduced at 4 times. So, zooming in obviously is not something that you're going to be sharing a lot on your social media. but I find that at this price point, there are other like in-sensor zoom phones out there that can perform better than the A56. But again, that's just my 2 cents. Maybe you guys like it. Let me know down in the comment section below. Now, another thing that I did not particularly like here, and this is something that Samsung has not improved for many years now, and that will be the haptic engine. So you guys probably know on a lot of other phones, like even like your Redmi, Realme and whatever, they do have that X-axis haptics, which actually makes the vibrations very short and crisp. Over here, it's not the worst one, but I just feel that it could be better, and it doesn't make the typing experience for me that enjoyable. Some of you don't type with the haptic engine on, but I do actually have it on, so I feel the vibrations here and there, and it's not something that I particularly like on the A56. Alright, so overall, how would I grade this device? Well, I would say that it's a great device for a mid-range phone. Still a very good effort from Samsung to actually elevate the entire build quality and all that. Furthermore, in terms of the chipset, the faster charging, you're actually getting a better device compared to its predecessor. The only downside is that there's not much improvements being made to the cameras, which I think in this day and age, we are taking a lot of photos, sharing a lot of pictures online with our friends, taking a lot of videos and all that. I just wish that it was a little bit better and more improved. So at the end of the day, should you go ahead and buy this, shortlist it or cancel it? Heard this line before somewhere. I would say that you should still shortlist it and consider this phone because, again, the camera is just not my personal taste, but it might be okay for you, and overall, it's actually a pretty good device. Now, thank you for watching. I'll head back and check out my Formula 1. See you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.